I love the flavor of sweetened almond and espresso, and I wanted to find a recipe that was dairy-free, gluten-free, and without refined sugars, but I couldn't find one. Since I couldn't find a recipe that already existed, I decided to create one, and I'm going to share it with you today. But before I get started, please remember to hit the like button below and also subscribe and hit the notification bell so you get notified of future videos like this one. I was first introduced to the delicious almond butter espresso cookie by Brittan of Eating Birdfood, but while I absolutely loved the flavor of this cookie, what I didn't like was the sugar. So I experimented with a new recipe with no less than 5 batches. While I couldn't duplicate the exact texture of Brittan's cookie, I was able to come up with this light, delicious, and crunchy wafer. So let's see how to make this delightful snack. For this recipe, I use flaxseed egg to keep it non-dairy. Usually, flaxseed egg is made of 1 tablespoon of ground flaxseed and 2.5 to 3 tablespoons of water, but I reduced the water to 2 tablespoons so the dough would not be too wet. Tip, I prefer to get whole flax seeds since they have a far longer shelf life than ground. I put this mixture in the fridge for 15 minutes to allow it to thicken. I'm a picky label reader, so I only use almond butter that has one ingredient, almonds. A nut butter with other ingredients will change the texture of the cookie, so be careful. Now let's begin by adding 3/4 cup of almond butter. Make sure to mix the almond butter well before adding it to your recipe, or you will risk making the dough too runny. Add 1/2 cup of pure maple syrup. Now 1 tablespoon of finely ground espresso. At this point, I have to stop myself from eating the dough. It's so yummy. 1 tablespoon baking soda. And 1/2 teaspoon of vanilla. You can see that after being chilled for 15 minutes, the flaxseed egg has thickened nicely. It is ready to be added to the mix. Just 6 ingredients to make these delicious wafers. Check the description below for the link to my recipe, which will also contain links for the ingredients and tools I use. Okay, it is important to use either parchment paper or a reusable non-stick silicone mat like this one, because the wafers are very delicate and will stick to an unprotected cookie sheet. Spoon about 2 teaspoons of dough on the mat, being careful not to let the dough spread. And here they are. Delicious. Oh, and if you're like my husband and prefer more of a cookie texture, add 1 tablespoon of almond flour to the dough recipe. Find the link in the description below to my blog post, which has the full recipe. And don't forget to hit the like button below and subscribe to this channel so you get notified when my new recipes come out.